Hello, students. Welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So, students, welcome to another session that we have here. And in this session, I'd like us to look at that is an area in or under listening and speaking, and that is giving directions and receiving uh, instructions. Now, let me start by looking at giving directions. So, talking about directions, directions are explanations on how to carry out a certain task or get to a certain place. So, these can also be instructions. So, we can say that directions are explanations or instructions on how to carry out a certain task or get to a certain place. So when you are new to a city, for instance, when you are new to a city, a town, or a village, you may need to ask for directions on how to get to a building or a given place. So we are told that when asking for directions, dear students, especially in a new place, one must use polite phrases. So examples of polite words and phrases are words like please, may I, excuse, pardon, etc., etc. So an example in sentence here that is on how you can ask for directions uh, to a given building, for example, is how do I get to KICC, please? How do I get to KICC, please? So there is the use of the word please, which is a polite expression. It is a polite word. So this makes your instructor, or rather the person you are asking the question, feel comfortable and even have that desire to help. But if you are rude, then there is no possible way a stranger gonna help you reach or get to a building or a given place. So what are some of qualities of a good direction? When do we say that a direction or these sets of explanations or instructions are good? So here are some qualities of a good direction. That is, as a person giving the directions or the explanations. So we are told that as the person giving these directions, you should consider the following. So the first thing that you are supposed to put into consideration is that you should use a simple and clear language. You should use a simple and clear language, a language that will uh, be easily understood by the listener. So apart from that, we are also told that we should, or rather you should, mention specific landmarks or signposts that can serve as guides. So talking about landmarks again, a landmark is an object or a feature of a landscape or town that is conspicuous. So when you talk about something that is conspicuous, it means that it can easily be seen. So when giving directions, we can sometimes use these landmarks. So an example of a landmark is maybe a building that is well known. For example, the KICC building in Nairobi, or we have the Afia Center, the archives. So those are buildings that are, known, and it is easier for a stranger or for a new person in a city to reach or get to those buildings than to maybe some of the buildings that are not known by very many people. So not only that, we also have got several examples of landmarks. That is the billboards. Apart from the billboards, we can also I think I've mentioned buildings. That is under some of the common buildings. Then you also have the billboards and the signposts. So another thing that you should do as the person giving the direction is that you should give the approximate time to be taken from one point to another. So apart from giving approximate time, I think the perfect example that I can use in this case is the Google Maps. In most cases, if you use Google Maps to get to a place, to get to a given place, you realize that the distance is also approximated. That is, the distance is given an approximation in time. For example, drive for 20 minutes or walk for 30 minutes, or board maybe a boda, for instance. That is, take a motorcycle and cover a distance. No, if I mention distance, that now brings me to the next thing that we are also supposed to put into consideration, that is giving the approximate distance. So apart from giving approximate time, that is giving time estimates, you can also go ahead and approximate the distance. For example, you can tell the listener to walk for maybe 500 meters or a kilometer, and they will find maybe a landmark and so on. So apart from that, we also encouraged to use words such as turn left or right. And again, you can also point out the directions such as east or west. That is using compass direction. Another thing, we are told that sometimes as the instructor, that is the person giving the direction, you can repeat where necessary. That is to ensure that the listener is able to get every information that you are giving out. So there are also things that you should avoid. We also have things that you should avoid when giving directions. So what are some of these things that are supposed to be avoided when giving directions? So the first one, we are told that we should avoid the use of local names or places that are not familiar to the person who is listening. So there are people who normally use some names that are only known by people of maybe a given community, or maybe the locals in short. So if you use names that are only known by the locals, or places that are only familiar to the locals, then there is no possible way the listener is gonna reach the destination. So also avoid use of instructions with multiple interpretations, what we call ambiguous interpretations. So this is a case where you give the listener multiple interpretations of some of the explanations. So that will definitely confuse the listener, being new. So because this somebody new you're trying to instruct or direct, you are required to only remember, we talked about using a simple and clear language. So you're supposed to mention a specific or give a specific direction using a language that is simple and clear. So we are also we also advised, or encouraged to avoid vagueness. So vagueness is the condition of being unclear. So is where maybe you tell the listener that take maybe take a motorbike, but I'm not really sure if it will get you to the right place that you want to get to. So you are not supposed to be vague. So remember that in everything you say, you must be clear. Now, students, that brings us to the end of the session, and thank you for staying tuned till the end. And remember to always keep it easy, Elimu. Until next time, once again, I'm your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. Bye.